Hello everyone, Firemac here, and welcome back to my Endwalker playthrough for Final Fantasy 14 with me, Firemac. And yeah, we're here in Ultima Thule. Let's talk to our peeps. No choice have we but to march onward, lest we squander their noble sacrifices. To feign bravery with bold words is a simple matter, but without the strength of will to match, we are powerless against dynamis. Not less than unshakable conviction will suffice, which makes me question if I'm up to the task. Oh, Raha, you're next, aren't you? Though it pains me to say it, we can ill afford to stop and grieve our comrades' passing. No, there will be time enough after. We have to keep going, even if Estinian isn't here to see it. I'm sure Alphano wouldn't want to disappoint him. Alphano has regained his composure and is ready to proceed. Roads paved, sacrifice. I'm assuming that's what that's supposed to say, even though the letters are really funky. As Justola and Alize said, we must continue. Notice a change of our surroundings? Perhaps this is the memory of an altogether different world. It would be prudent to learn more of it, then. Tread carefully, lest we lose our footing in this sand. I think we're about to get our first Aether Current. What am I looking at? That's an enemy. Driftania. Southeast. Is it like right here? Hold on. Woo! Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Huh? I don't see Aether Current. This is right behind this pillar, isn't it? Or above? Oh, it's up there, up there. This is not what I was expecting, no sir. I can hear it. Oh, this is a long trip up. Well, I feel like the quest is gonna make me go up here anyway. Northwest, alright, so that's a big enough distance that I'm not gonna. Oh god! We're okay. Sand. Sand everywhere. If not for the light emitted by these glyphs, I might well have overlooked this monument. If you were worried about my vision, you needed to be. I could still see quite well. Another seemingly barren world. For a mercy, the air is nowhere near as stale, but still quite dry. And the sand will no doubt prove bothersome in due time. Were it not for the violent crystal embedded in its surface, 'twould appear as ordinary stone. A curious script hath been etched upon them. Alas, it is not a language with which I am familiar. I cannot say I recognize it either. Nor I. The dragons, from what I recall, preserve their knowledge in song, and eschew the written word entirely. So we may assume that this is the work of another race, one we have yet to encounter. Medion claimed the dragon's world suffered a slow death, seeking the release of oblivion. What life we find here, like as not, doth wend its way towards a similar end. Fascinating as the script is, we will glean naught from what we cannot decipher. Are these guys gonna say the same thing? Yeah, okay, let's just talk to Alice here. What do you suppose that is over there? That large tower? I'm not sure, it's hard to make out at this distance, but its surface seems to bear the same crystals as this monument. Meaning there is a chance we may find whoever built them both. We should go and have a look. Come on. So where are we going exactly? Right here. Oh, those things. These halo things. Oh. You're different. Hello, travelers. This is a most unexpected occurrence. Oh, hello there. What is your home? Is this your home? Indeed it is. Forgive me, I had forgotten. An exchange of introductions is expected when first meeting those with whom one is unacquainted. Oh, hello, you're changing. Oh, what is happening? What did you just do? Oh my god. When the vibration of vocal folds was still required to convey our thoughts, an intention, yeah, I believe, was the pronunciation used when referring to our people. Yeah? Though it is not entirely applicable given our present state, you are welcome to use this appellation. As for nomenclature, to address my individual person, I believe it would be pronounced Kafkudg. Kafkudg. Yes, Kafkudg of the Ia. We have encountered beings that communicate intermittently through thought, but never one that is wholly without voice. I presume we are having this conversation via the medium of ether, or dynamis, as this space is suffused with vast quantities of it. Fascinating in either case. So we're not even really talking to it? I gather your response to my presence is positive, then. That is well, for there is something I wish to ask of you. Like yourselves, we Ia are ether-based life forms, therefore it may be surmised that your bodies are of comparable biological composition to those we once possessed. I have a number of queries regarding your subjective perception of the five senses: sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell. In total, I have prepared 198,712,180,827. That's rather a lot, isn't it? My apologies. I have omitted a great many details necessary to understand the nature of my request. Though we dispensed with our corporeal vessels long ago, we have rediscovered a need for the flesh and have endeavored to recreate our erstwhile forms. However, all pertinent records have been lost due to passage of time. Take, for example, the nervous system. It is well within our power to recreate, but we have no frame of reference for sensations once experienced by our people. which may compromise our ability to interact with our physical environment. And the reason you need to regain corporeal forms? Why? To bring an end to our existence, of course. Though need is perhaps too strong a word, it would be a simple matter to unmake ourselves through use of etheric exsanguators, but such a death seems inadequate. The traditionalists among us believe proper death requires an inescapable sense of impermanence in one's final moments, an experience found only with bodies of flesh. Everyone just wants to die. We should very much like to hear more of your plans. In exchange, we will answer any questions you have to the best of our ability. Oh, what I feel like Yustol is the next one to go. It's between Yustol and Graha. I feel like Yustol is high on the list right now as the next to go. Such an exchange of information would indeed prove useful. Very well, to ensure efficacious exchange, I hereby invite you to our home. Yes, the abode of the Ia, where we traditionalists prepare for our demise. I presume your consent to answer questions is indicative of a tacit approval of our plans, in which case your cooperation is greatly appreciated. I must caution you, however, to be mindful of the Ia wandering the desert. Their desire for bodies of flesh could be described as overzealous. Now, if you would follow me. This is going rather smoothly, not that I'm complaining, mind. Even so, we mustn't forget their aim is oblivion, much like the dragons. Though I fail to see why a civilization so seemingly advanced would choose to unmake all they have created. At any rate, we will find no answers dallying here. Let us be on our way. Alright, so I'm gonna reverse as monk, because this is all still experience, by the way. No, I squandered some of it, but I'm not that choked up about losing this experience. Oh, look at these. Dead inside. Ugh. We're really close to the next ether current. Oh, what is that? Is that... That's an A rank. Wait, what? How did it get longer? I'm so confused right now. What? That's like right above this ridge, right? There it is. Found it. I realize I'm not centered at all on the camera. It's probably right next to that. Oh, no, I didn't mean it. No. I Everything's so crazy up here. There's everybody. More violet-colored crystals. I cannot place my finger on it, but there is something unsettling about them. Maybe it's the other people who did not have their forms come out or something. The Isle of Dragons was shrouded in the silence of the dead, yet the stillness here doth suggest that ye are, by and large, merely sleeping. I should not be surprised their concept of a village is so different from ours, and yet something tells me we have a different definitions of the word abode. They said there would be others, but I don't know what I was expecting. Probably literally in those stones. No, not... Dang it. Welcome to our abode. Most of our peers, you will find, remain idle in their domiciles. Though your quizzical expressions indicate my phrasing is unclear. I speak, of course, of the violet crystalline constructs hanging from the stone structures there. You say they remain idle, but what of your work to regain corporeal bodies? An astute question and understandable given your finite nature. We have no desire to pursue our research, for it is no longer necessary. If in our idleness we are struck by sudden inspiration, we rise to pursue said inspiration to its conclusion. That is why I was present for your arrival, and why I continue to engage with you still. But while the others are not currently in motile state, rest assured they would not object were you to disturb their respite. You need only cast your thoughts towards one of their crystalline domiciles to communicate. It's certainly different. Let's go with that. Go back to Paladin. You cast your thoughts toward the crystalline domicile, but there is no response. Because of course there isn't. Let's attune to his ether, right, shall we? That person stuck? Oh. It was weird. I thought like they were on a horse mount and it was just like stuck in an upper position with the two legs up, but it was not that at all. You wish to speak? Very well. Pray, a moment if you would. Why we seek our end, you ask? If you wish to know, I will tell you. Just a moment, I must remember. What form did I take when I last emerged? The strange moaning comes and goes, but soon fades into silence. Oh, okay. Oh. Did your inquiries yield satisfactory responses? No. I see. If they fail to answer, then it is likely because their minds have unraveled due to prolonged idleness. They are not but concentrated ether now. Worry not, there are no others who have need of those lodgings, and they will not prove a hindrance to remain as they are. But more importantly, you said some few did answer your request for an audience. Yes, I imagine they will be with us ere long. Still 89. Flesh abandoned. Don't like the sound of that. No. Kafkudg languidly awaits his brethren's arrival. I had no luck, but everyone else fared well enough. Quite a few IA have awakened. Ah, there they are. May I introduce you, La Lak Du Dik Ni Ned. Need. Let's go with that. It has been too long, Kafkud. I dare say Satyr 4 has since completed an orbit. Indeed, until the travelers brought it to my attention, I hadn't noticed how unraveled some had become. Travelers? Ah, of course. The ones who wish to know why we seek to regain corporeal forms. The truth of the matter is as plain to see as the neighboring systems, but my single account would fail to satisfy the requirement for a scientific objectivity. Thus did I bid them awaken. Am I the only one who struggles to tell who is speaking? Nay, thou art not. In the absence of corporeal forms, in the divergence they afford, mayhap such similarity in voice is unavoidable. Cool, so I did the right thing with making them all sound the same. By the way, Kafkud, I have you already observed the requisite custom for the travelers. That which one is expected to do when receiving guests, a matter of proper form. Oh, that's so weird. Don't do that. Ah, yes, so long has it been. It had completely escaped my mind, and still does. What was it again? Can't seem to remember. Oh god. Oh, please stop. I hate that. Neither do I. Pity. I was hoping you would. Perhaps we can search the archives for the answer. Come now, Need. The archives have long been frozen, lest we subject ourselves to further dolor. Surely, you recall that much. Ah, of course, food! The custom is to serve food. Beings of flesh such as they must regularly replenish their ether. By contributing to their replenishment, we communicate our friendly intention. That's right! We duly invite you to join us in communal repast, after which we may engage in leisurely conversation. If we have a chance to learn something, then I see no reason to decline. Excellent! If you would care to follow, we shall feast you on the purest ether. So literally, just pure ether. That's our reward. We're definitely gonna get side quests here. Like, there's no way we're not gonna get side quests. To think I had forgotten what had become of the archives, how much has my essence deteriorated since last I was awake. Not that I am adverse to having my mind fade away in this matter. It isn't so unlike the natural degradation of one's flesh. How delightful. Throughout the universe, but few races have completely shed their flesh as we have. As a result, we seldom receive visitors from other systems. Extreme differences can inhibit meaningful interaction, you see. None more so than those which affect communication. Most entities, for example, cannot even comprehend our words. You are rare indeed in your ability to do so. You avail yourselves of Dynamis. Yes, it is an impressive application, even if it is ultimately pointless like all the rest. You know the term Dynamis. How much ether would be adequate for your kind, I wonder? As I recall, there is a fine line between optimal satiation and violent sickness. Yeah, let's be careful about this, shall we? This looks interesting, it's like the Heidelin thing. We were told to stand wherever we like. This strikes me less of a meal and more of a ritual. Judging by the construction of this facility, it would seem the IA directly draw upon the ether. Oh, there's definitely more people here. Ether, they said, but I can't help but feel a bit nervous. If they are thus able to replenish their ether, the loss of vital sustenance isn't like to be the cause of their demise. It is I suspect, then this is so-called feast. Actually, let's just see it for ourselves. Fear not, we are not like to come to harm. This facility is where we replenish our ether. There is no particular name for it, but we traditionalists sometimes use the word restaurant. Now then, if you would take your place with your comrades, the space will soon be awash with purest ether. Please absorb as much as you like. You brace yourself for a rush of sweet, sweet ether, but nothing seems to happen. Perhaps you need to wait a little longer? You brace yourself again, but again, nothing seems to happen. Just as I had suspected, as meticulously as one might recreate the IA's home world, this Ultima Thule, one cannot simply generate ether here. As recreations, our friends are oblivious to this fact, to the very truth of their existence, much like the phantoms of the recreated Amarat. However appearances may seem, we must ever be mindful that it is the memories of the dead with whom we deal. So these are dead people? I thought they were like lingering beings from the worlds. So did you have your fill of ether? Alas, we cannot absorb it. A deficiency in our forms, it would seem. Oh, how very unfortunate. May I ask how you normally replenish your ether? We eat food. Through your mouths, you say? How very primitive and quaint. You'd think that their mouths serve not only to expel sound, but draw in sustenance besides. Such life forms have long since vanished from our systems. Though we regrettably could not partake of your magnificent feast, rest assured we feel your welcome most keenly. In the course of acquainting ourselves with your sophisticated ways, however, we could not fail but wonder, wherefore do you wish to obtain vessels of flesh, and thence to vanish? Will you not favor us with an explanation? You flesh and blood beings are always so hasty. It does have its charm. However, very well, we shall indulge you. In the beginning, when the Ia yet possessed corporeal bodies, our ancestors dedicated themselves to the pursuit of knowledge and technological advancement. By transcending all limitations, we believe we would eliminate sorrow and abide in true happiness. From the tangible such as land to the intangible such as labor, there exist myriad hindrances to progress, but the most confining of all was the flesh itself. Our natural lifespan was distressingly middling, you see, too short to enjoy unhurried lives, yet too long to be considered disposable. Furthermore, to simply maintain the integrity of our bodies demanded considerable resources. But we managed to solve this problem. After long years, we discovered how to become non-corporeal entities with everlasting lives, untroubled by the failures of the flesh. Thus changed, we had more time and freedom to continue our scientific pursuits. We went on to make ever greater strides in our quest to transcend all limitations until we finally decided to challenge the last of them all, the limit of knowledge. That is to say, deciphering the laws of creation. We sought to discover how the universe came into being and explain all extant, that's go, extant phenomena, and thence predict the future. If we could but achieve this, we believe that we would be free from uncertainty and anxiety. And did you find the answers you sought? Yes, we did. Our efforts revealed to us a fundamental truth. Knowledge of said truth is essential for the continuation of our conversation. If you would learn more, we shall share it with you. No, we mustn't. Primitive as they are, it would be unspeakably cruel to deprive them of their ignorance. They are possessed of corporeal forms, their lives readily ended. As those who have gone before, is it not our duty to warn them? What thinkest thou? He still has nothing to say. Uh-oh. We have deliberated and come to a consensus. If you are resolved to know, we will disclose to you the truth we discovered, the truth of the universe. Seek us at the stone pillars just outside the bounds of the abode, a place called Elegella. Elegella. Yeah, see, look at that. It's coming down to Yustola. Something's about to happen to Yustola. I can feel it. Like her master, Yustola seeketh the truth of creation. How will the truth of the Ia, who uncovered all, only to desire the end, fall upon her ears? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't like that. To define the laws of creation would have been no small feat, even for the Ia. Nay, having eternal life and hence no sense of haste, would only have made it harder. Such tremendous drive for knowledge they once must have had, and I struggle to reconcile it with the listless beings before us. Whatever answers they found, it did not bring them happiness. You may be intimately familiar with the problem, know it like the back of your hand, yet be powerless to solve it. In the course of my struggles, I've often been made keenly aware of this fact. I wonder, have the Ia never felt the same frustration? 'Tis true that a lack of knowledge can beget fear, therefore in theory, by acquiring all knowledge, it may be possible to attain peace. But as Hyland told us, All those peoples who attempted to free their worlds from life's woes met with failure, and the Ia are among them. As their presence here attests, the tale we are about to hear will not be a happy one. Alright, monk time. A fundamental truth. We will hear it, of course. Let us learn what has led such an enlightened people to this indolent end. Before we hear the climax of the Ia's tale, mayhap I should speak of... On second thought, it would only be a distraction. We will talk more when the time is right. Assuming you don't freaking disappear too, Yosola. Okay, they're saying the same thing. Alright, back to Paladin. We got level 90 quest yet? Nope. Where knowledge leads. It's infinity symbol, I get it. Something seems to be weighing on Uranje's mind. Oh! Are we gonna lose Uranje instead of Yustola? That'd be a what a twist. We join the there is one trifling matter I would fain investigate. Firemac, Rahatio, might I trouble you for your assistance? But of course. My thanks. We shall head outside of the abode, if you would kindly follow me. I know not what mischief you are applauding, Oranje, but I trust you have our best interests at heart. The rest of us shall go on ahead to Alagella. Lest you worry, we won't start without you. Well, they didn't actually leave. As long as Unanche explains himself to you, then I shall be satisfied. Do lend him an ear in my stead. There is naught but desert out there. What could Unanche wish to investigate? Go on and assist Unanche with his mysterious task. We shall wait for you. All the way out there? Wait, what? Weren't we just there? Hold on. Yalyag? Weren't we just here? Northwest. Okay. I guess I didn't catch this Aether Current being so close. $415 yalms east, so like probably in this area. Which we're gonna get to very shortly here. There's that A rank. Let's stay away from that. It will murder me. No doubt about it. Huh? What exactly are we going to be doing out here, I wonder? A spring and a sizable one at that. I hadn't noticed it amidst the dunes. Aye, this place shall serve. Is it the spring that you wish to investigate? Pray forgive me, my friends, but there is naught to investigate. 'Twas but a pretense to speak in private. You have our undivided attention. As we have established here in Ultima Thule, those denizens of ruined stars are recreated in their twilight days. Yet one question doth arise in my mind. So faithfully formed are the simulacra, but they believe themselves yet amongst the living. How dost thou suppose this is possible? Meteon has taken their hearts onto herself? Meteon made contact with them while they still lived? Let's see. I'm gonna go with that one. Of course, she must have visited the stars of the dragons and the Ia before either race perished in their entirety. Especially the dragons, because that one survived. Thus could she make her emotions her own, and with them create more faithful simulacra than had she relied on any historical account. So too did I theorize, and upon that assumption, consider how those two races have met their demise. According to thine own tale, Meteon perceiveth the emotions of those nearby as her own, a heightened sense of empathy intrinsic to her nature as an enteleki. In the course of her starfaring journey, if she encountered beings who strongly desired the cessation of their existence, she would be powerless before that desire. Even as she possesses the power to grant it, the power of Dynamis. 'Tis my supposition that, overwhelmed by their longing for death, Meteon did unleash Dynamis and usher the dragons and the Ia onto their doom. Of course, such was not always the outcome. Full many stars did she find already lost to ruin. In order to create a terminus, however, the fervent desire for the end is essential. Therefore, should you struggle to find the way forward, pray ask yourself this: in the place where you stand, whose is the soul that yearneth the most desperately for oblivion? Why do you tell us this now? Never again would I betray your trust. This pledge I did make my comrades. In bringing thee into my confidence, I would remain true to my word. Ranjay, you're about to do something, aren't you? As for thee, let us consider it my fitting reward for the secrets I harbored for the Crystal Exarch. I once placed my faith in thy chosen path, walking at thy side full knowing that we were bound for thy demise. I ask now that thou returnest the favor and abide in faith as I fulfill my own destiny. If you say my debt has come due, how am I to refuse? 'Tis indelicate of me, but I know full well, and I can but beg thy forgiveness. Yet even if I must needs to go to such lengths, I cannot well feign ignorance of the answer I have found within. The answer to the question, in what moment might I stand strongest? After all that we've been through, I will only say this. I will say only this. Do what you must. Do what you must and see your conviction through. I shall, my friend, I shall. Without further ado, then, let us go to join our comrades. Damn it, so it's Uranjay who's gonna fall next, not Yastola. Let us be off to Elegilla. Abode of the Ia. Well, this very heart-touching scene is going to have to be done as a monk. Because we know we're about to get a scene, considering how the quest was shown to us, if you recall. I understand you've taken care of business. If you are ready to begin, then so are we. While we waited, we mentioned our star's situation to the Ia. They nodded sagely, or something to that effect. Come, let us hear the Ia's tale, and learn what caused such enlightened beings to crave nihility. Don't mind me. Just watching. It would seem your star, too, has been plunged into a panic-induced cataclysm. We hope that our tale will not serve to exacerbate it. Ooh, almost talked to just a little too early. Oh, you are here already. Your comrades said you would be late. We have prepared for our recounting to facilitate comprehension. The information will be simplified to match your primitive minds. Your companion in front, the one called Justilla, she seems the keenest to learn the truth. I pity her. It seems everyone is accounted for. Shall we then? Alright.
Please continue. Tell us about this truth you discovered.
Very well. Bear in mind, however, that the purpose of this conversation is not to impart scholarly knowledge, for such requires that you comprehend the subject matter, which you will not.
My god, the voice. That was not the voice I was expecting.
We will forego the intricacies of our scientific methodology and deal only with the conclusion. The end of our society and our world. We acknowledge, with regret, that your star is in the midst of the same panic-induced cataclysm that befell Deneb 3. As such, in order to avoid causing undue distress, we will refrain from explicitly stating how much time you have remaining.
You are entirely too kind. I pray you recount your tale as you see fit.
In the beginning, the universe was but a tiny particle. Then suddenly, this particle began to expand. Having remained entirely in the bounds of your star, the phenomenon may be difficult for your kind to grasp. But this expansion has since continued unabated. Speculating that the universe could not grow indefinitely, we sought to learn what might occur, and made a worrying discovery. The stars will continue to spread apart, as will their finite thermal energies. Eventually, all heavenly bodies will grow cold and freeze. No new stars will be born, and the universe will enter into an eternal ice age. In hopes of proving that this determination was erroneous, we scrutinized our research from all angles, even as we sought to avert the everlasting winter. The endeavor proved fruitless. So infamously so, in fact, that it became synonymous with vain effort. The universe as we know it would end, and there is no way to prevent it.
See, I feel like there's a flaw with that ideology. If your technology gets so advanced to such a point that you could probably help the universe continue to expand, so nothing can grow cold. That's just my view on it, but, you know.
Beneath the weight of this knowledge, our society stagnated. Though we had time still, it was a cold comfort. Why strive for anything when desolation is assured? When our wealth of wisdom, accumulated since the dawning of our kind, would be forever lost. No civilization would rise from our ashes. No scholar recover our knowledge. In silence unbroken, naught would stir. Intellect was once our pride. Overnight, it became our shame. Our works, monuments to futility. Immortality, our greatest invention, became a source of suffering. Rather than suffer on, many chose to unmake themselves by means of etheric exsanguinators. Etched upon these stones are the testaments of such souls. Though many left no words at all, thinking it a pointless gesture.
It's important to die.
Once we have obtained vessels of flesh, we likewise intend to vanish. If you understand this, understand aught of our tale, you will abandon your quest for knowledge. Ignorance truly is bliss. If you would cling to your illusory happiness, remain primitive and pure. It is the only way.
So that's your story. While I appreciate your advice, I will not heed it. Convinced though you may be of this truth, it is yours and not mine. Indeed, truth, I have ever believed, is in the eye of the beholder.
Are you suggesting that we have reached a faulty conclusion? That our science failed us?
Hardly. As you yourself said, the subject matter is beyond my comprehension. And that, I accept, is true. I do not possess the knowledge to prove or disprove your conclusion. In my mortal years, I doubt I could even approach the wisdom of the Ea.
Ea.
But of one thing am I absolutely certain. I would not be happier in ignorance.
Y'shtola, no! You mustn't!
The most important lesson I've learned is that learning isn't simply passing one's eyes over words. Nay, 'tis when understood for oneself that knowledge attains its true value. This is what has sustained me, driven me onward in joy and wonder, in anger and sorrow. The universe may end, and all may be for naught. But I will live as I always have. I will always seek out new knowledge. And no conclusion of yours, no matter how grim, can dampen my desire.
I suppose it is only to be expected. Their feeble minds cannot fathom the terrifying gravity of it all.
Because you guys were made immortal.
But worry not. We consider it our duty to enlighten you. And we will not stop until you grasp the full extent of our despair.
Another bird.
Keep calm and listen well.
It's the Meteons, isn't it? That's what those are. Those are the freaking Meteons, or whatever the Entelekis.
Though my body will soon dissipate, there may be a way to restore it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys...
Asm's magic. So long as our souls remain, you can use it to summon us back. But you mustn't, for it would mean losing our way forward. This I only reveal so that you can promise not to invoke the magic. We came here knowing what victory may cost, so press on. Press on, and do not look back.
I shall join thee. As subterfuge is not required, thou shalt not suffer for mine absence.
Ariande.
My resolve hath never been as strong as thine. Full oft have I wavered in my decisions, and afterwards been stricken with regret. In spite of this, I may still stand with my comrades, supporting them as they attempt the greatest of feats. This truth I have learned in the course of our journey. And many though my shortcomings may be, I may also claim to excel in prophecies. My studies, into which have granted me the flexibility of mind needed to bend this malleable reality. Thus shall I hope that thou mayest have the strength to resist, and our comrades the strength to continue.
With you to urge us on, how could we possibly fail?
Lost both of them.
What's this? An extinguished civilization. Rekindled.
That's right. Our quest doesn't end here. We'll press on, and we will find you.
There. That's where you'll find me.
Is that another star?
Of the stars we visited, most were already devoid of life. And where there was life still, the inhabitants wished for death. But even death, we learned, isn't truly the end. It is but a part of the cycle of rebirth. Souls return to the star, or in its absence, a larger flow, and eventually they are reborn. Alive again, to know suffering anew. True salvation lies not in dying. It lies in not being born. This is the gift I would give to you. To all life on beautiful Aetheris. To that end, we created an egg wherein life cannot quicken. That dead sun. Attain it if you can, before your friends' emotions fade away, along with their protection.
The next one might be all the rest of them. Them and Graha together. Never have I felt such emptiness. It's as if a part of me is gone. I'm fine, Firemac. Like I said, our quest doesn't end here. Level 90! Yes! I can stop. We're paddling all the way now through. Oh, that's the end of this episode too, so this is Firemac saying, Doodles, see you next time.